From News 19, I'm meteorologist Daniel Bonds. We're continuing to track the wintry mix that we're expecting to move across parts of the Midlands and the Palmetto State. The time frame really is now through the early morning hours of Saturday. That wintry mix possible for the Midlands and the Palmetto State. As we get into the afternoon hours and certainly into the evening and tonight, the best advice is just to stay off those area roadways. So here's the impact. We do expect the mix of rain, sleet, snow, and freezing rain. We've already gotten some reports of some sleet over towards parts of Aiken County, down towards Orangeburg County. Did see a picture from one of our WLTX weather watchers showing some sleet on her back deck. That was down in Cordova. We do expect hazardous road conditions, especially where the winter storm warning is in effect. In areas that do get a little bit more in the way of ice or freezing rain, there could be some power outages as that ice would be weighing down the trees and those branches falling, causing some power issues. If you absolutely have to travel, you need to be careful. Leave yourself a little extra time and space if you are going to be driving on those roads. So leave you a little extra space with the vehicle in front of you. About 70% of snow and ice related injuries occur in automobiles, that according to NOAA. So it's just best to stay off the roads unless you absolutely have to be out there. Wintry mix, that's what we're expecting. So we're expecting some rain, we're expecting some freezing rain, we're expecting some sleet and the possibility for some snow. To get a report over towards Ward where some snow is falling as well. Winter storm warnings from the northern parts of the Midlands to the upstate into North Carolina. A little bit of a closer look at the winter storm warning across South Carolina, and then a little closer towards the Midlands, Kershaw, Fairfield, Newberry, and Saluda counties. This winter storm warning does continue until 7 o'clock Saturday morning. Also a winter weather advisory for the rest of the Midlands, and you'll see that winter weather advisory all the way from the southwestern part of South Carolina all the way up towards eastern parts of North Carolina. A little bit of a closer look shows that winter weather advisory does include parts of the PD, and for us here in the Midlands, it's Lee, Sumter, Clarendon, Orangeburg, Calhoun, Richland, Lexington, and Aiken counties. That is a winter weather advisory, and that will be until 4 o'clock Saturday morning. So in that winter weather advisory area, heavy mixed precipitation is possible. Total snow and sleet accumulations up to 1/2 inch and ice accumulations between 1/10 and 2/10. So that's something we'll be watching in the winter weather advisory area. The winter storm warning area, heavy mixed precipitation is expected. And so this could cause some issues, ice accumulations between 2/10 and 3/10, and total snow and sleet accumulations up to 1/2 inch. That could cause some travel problems, obviously. So this orange area, moderate travel problems, moderate impacts and risks due to this winter storm that's going to be moving through parts of the Midlands and the Southeast. The good news is if you have weekend plans, it might be a little bit slick early Saturday morning, but Saturday afternoon, everything will be out of here. We'll enjoy a good bit of sunshine across the Southeast, so you shouldn't have any problems whatsoever. Here's kind of a wide look at this storm as it continues to develop. You see the low down there on the Gulf of Mexico. It continues to move and cut across the southeastern part of the United States and brings that wintry mix to a large part of South Carolina and North Carolina. A little bit of a closer look here shows that wintry mix moving in, kind of spreads across South Carolina. Starts to move a little bit farther towards the north. Some snow in parts of the upstate, more snow in North Carolina, obviously, where it is a little bit colder. And then as we look ahead towards about 10 o'clock, that rain/wintry mix line begins to shift a little bit more towards the north. A little bit of a closer look towards the Palmetto State. You can get a little bit better definition here of what's going to be happening. Friday afternoon, 2 o'clock, wintry mix, snow in the upstate. You'll see that wintry mix continues to spread. There will be that possibility for some travel problems, especially for your afternoon and evening commute. 6 o'clock, more rain in the southern part of the Midlands down towards the low country. That wintry mix still impacting a large part of the Midlands. And you see the rain shifting a little bit more towards the north as that warmer air will kind of move in. It may not necessarily be at the surface, But if it's above us, it'll cause that freezing rain if it's still freezing at the surface. As that cold rain does hit those cold surfaces, we could have more of that freezing rain. So we'll zoom in a little closer towards the Midlands. Some snow during the morning hours, a little wintry mix as well, certainly possible. And then as we do go into the afternoon, we do expect more of a wintry mix, and gradually that wintry mix turns over more towards rain as we mentioned, that warmer or slightly warmer air does move in. Looking ahead towards midnight, that's when we're expecting most of the activity to start to decrease, with maybe just a little isolated activity after midnight. By the time most of us wake up Saturday morning, we'll enjoy a lot of sunshine. Anything that's left out there that's possibly frozen tomorrow morning should melt pretty quickly with the sunshine. Wide look at our snowfall forecast from the graph, our in-house forecast model showing the better chances for snow in North Carolina, better chances for snow in the upstate of South Carolina. And I will say, latest forecast model run shows maybe a dusting of snow across parts of the Midlands. Do believe the greatest odds for a dusting is probably going to be in the northern half of the Midlands. But keep in mind, a lot of this, as it falls, it's falling into some dry air. So it may be kind of fun to look at, but as it does fall through that dry air and as it hits the relatively warm ground, a lot of it's going to melt and evaporate. Here's another of the high resolution models. This is the HRRR. This shows a dusting and maybe a little bit more over towards Aiken County. But once again, you're talking about light amounts of snowfall, if any. So a little bit of a dusting certainly possible. The big concern, though, I think is going to be the ice. 80% chance for a tenth of an inch of ice in that little bullseye area there. You see this more till area, that would be a 70% chance of a tenth of an inch or more of ice. So that possibly a concern, or at least an issue. It is a concern, but it possibly will be an issue. We'll zoom in a little bit closer. When you start to get to these, close to this quarter of an inch, that's when you expect problems. So as we mentioned, areas that get a little bit more in the way of freezing rain, odds are you may have more issues with power outages. A little bit more of a vague look at the snowfall forecast. This is the graph forecast model. We like to call it our in-house forecast model, the one we show on television a lot. Light amounts of snow possible, slightly heavier in the upstate of South Carolina, and then we do expect that glaze of freezing rain. I know that is not what we want, but anytime you have these wintry mixed storms that move through the Palmetto State, you always have rain, sleet, freezing rain, and sometimes you do get a little bit of snow. A little bit of moderate freezing rain also possible for parts of the Midlands. We have not had measurable snowfall at the Columbia Metropolitan Airport since January 21st, 2022. 1,085 days. Don't know if that'll change today, but I do believe at least a few of us will get some snowflakes across the Midlands. If you can safely do it, send us your weather pictures. We'll appreciate seeing what you're seeing out there. We talk about snow, ice, freezing rain, talk about that. A lot of times people have this urge to go out and buy milk and bread, but the theory behind that is buying these can provide a sense of preparedness and control when facing an unpredictable or uncontrollable situation. So there is a theory behind this. Some believe this started after the blizzard of 1978, a strong storm that impacted the northeast part of the United States. So if you have the urge to buy some milk and bread, there's a theory behind it. Temperatures aren't going to warm up a whole lot. We're only talking about highs in the low to mid 30s with that wintry mix in place. As we do look ahead towards tomorrow, it'll be a little bit warmer across the Midlands. Highs in the mid to upper 40s, low 50s on Monday. Mid to upper 40s, it looks like Tuesday, I should say, Wednesday and Thursday, as it will be slightly cooler. A little bit of snow possible, mixing in the rain over towards Myrtle Beach. Same thing in Charleston, maybe a little bit of sleet, a little bit of freezing rain. High temperatures right around 40 in the low country. Wintry mix expected in the upstate, with probably snow being the predominant precipitation type. Colder than normal conditions January 17th through January 23rd, and we're also expecting wetter than normal conditions during that same time frame. So maybe an interesting setup as we look ahead in our 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. You can always follow me on these social media outlets. We'll be updating this forecast regularly throughout this winter weather event. So keep it here for more updates, and have a great Friday and a great weekend.